Event speaking builds trust and also helps get quality leads. This is episode number 408 of the My Online Toolbox weekly quick tips and reminders in all facets of marketing to help you grow your business with more quality leads. Last week, we were talking about simple review strategies beyond just asking for reviews. And these posts that we make on a weekly basis, whenever we're getting your attention and we're helping you or your staff out with whatever it may be, it would be wonderful to get a quick like, a comment, any type of shout out, just so we know you're there. And as a good example is we've always promoted this company for years now. They've had tremendous growth, called Turnkey Custom Homes. And you'll see here that we're really happy because they have a great reputation with their client base, but that doesn't mean that a prospect is not going to come knocking on the door soon, demanding certain things that you're not able to provide or don't want to provide, and then the people don't want to hear it. So in this particular case, using this as a great example because this was one of the 5 points in last week's episode talking about negative reviews. In this case, the owner was stimulated to go to his Google reviews, happened to notice there was this 1-star review, and I'm reading out loud in case you're driving and just listening, where the 1-star review from 2 years ago says publicly, unfortunately, we did not have a good experience with Turnkey. We were recommended to them by a friend. At the beginning, Jeremy was helpful. However, once we started talking specifics and budget, it seemed like he was blowing us off. He did not follow up after the conversations. Once we did make contact, he recommended that we look at other companies. We did our research on what he recommended, and they were low-end builders that we would never use. Maybe our budget wasn't big enough for him to take our business seriously. Who knew a $400,000 to $500,000 house wasn't a good enough project for his company? Well, we saw what Jeremy was looking to post, and this story from the consumer was way off base from the truth. But in any case, the owner was able to tone down the details in order to post this public reply, which is there as of today. Easy to see. And it says, "Hello, Alyssa. I just realized there was no response to this review and hope you were ultimately able to find the right company for your needs. I apologize if there was an impression that your inquiry was overlooked. That was certainly not the intention. There are times when our services are not the best fit for a particular project for a variety of reasons. While I thought we explained ourselves as best we could, perhaps we still could have done a better job communicating that more clearly from the outset. There is a delicate balancing act of ensuring great reviews from those we commit to do business with and those who we may do business with. We understand that people simply may not be happy when they do not get what they want. In any case, we appreciate the feedback, hope all worked out with another builder, and hold no hard feelings with the review. Jeremy." My point is, this is really probably not the exact wording that this gentleman of Turnkey Custom Homes wanted to say, especially since My Online Toolbox is aware of the real details. It doesn't matter. All you want to do, if somebody really has the wrong attitude with you as a prospect and you let them go and then they use Google reviews for psychological warfare to get back at you, you do not have to fight fire with fire. Remember, the diplomacy of your replies will be seen by many people for years to come, so swallow your pride, try to be diplomatic, and just move on, such as this particular example, and we're happy that our weekly post stimulated him to reply. As a reminder, and it's going to lead right up into this episode, couple of weeks to go, and we'll be speaking at both the IBS and KBIS show. On opening day, we're going to be talking about allocating a smaller percentage of gross sales towards marketing as you grow. Closing day, social media, done on your own, simple, authentic, affordable, and effective. Remember, the first one is for the KBIS education segment. The second one is the IBS education segment. They both require separate passes to go to those. So now let's talk about this event speaking and the importance of it. We've been doing this now for literally almost 40 years at different events speaking, believe it or not, in this industry, over 15 years. Event speaking allows you to earn a certain level of credibility within the community, to prospects, with vendors, to everybody. And as a secondary benefit is when people come to classes and they have allocated time and or money or both to sit down and listen to whatever the subject matter is. When a class ends, for me, for years, I never walk into an event and leave an event without having a future customer. That doesn't mean the customer is not going to become one immediately, but these people are so interested in the subject matter that they will then eventually approach me after the classes are over, ask for a business card, follow up after. And over the years, it has just been an enormous way to grow the prestige of myself. And in addition to my own ego, is the credibility of the company, My Online Toolbox, in the marketing atmosphere. So please keep this in mind, for especially as a contractor. You might be, there's many home shows as a good example, and to use a specific reference point, we've always featured this company Castile, and this is one of dozens of examples we could show, but just to make a point, since we were speaking to them earlier today, Castile, if you went to their website and went to community involvement, you'll see a time, among the many times, that the owner was at a particular home event teaching people about different aspects about working with their homes. And it doesn't matter what you do. There is always going to be a trade event that that takes place annually, and you just need to research it. And those trade events beg for people who are looking to take their experiences and teach classes. Many of you may say, well, I don't know how to teach. I'm not sure exactly what to say. That's a separate issue. Feel free to reach out to My Online Toolbox. You know how to do so in order for advice in how to do that if you haven't taken the classes. But it's a clear way to be able to slowly establish credibility that's impossible for you to quantify until you've tried it yourself. This is My Online Toolbox reminding you to start planning yesterday for next year's marketing and profits. Have a healthy week. We will see you next week.